Hi everybody, I'm back again with another movie review. I'm going to try to move this one along as quickly as possible. The movie is called Feed. It's a 2005 film. It stars Alex McLaughlin, Patrick Thompson, Gabby Millgate, and Jack Thompson. It's directed by Leonard, who also did The Lawnmower Man and Virtuosity. To begin, this review will contain spoilers. However, I'm going to try to keep them as mild as possible to prevent ruining anything, because this really is a movie that's got some twists and turns that make it excellent, and I'm going to try to avoid revealing any of those. Essentially, the movie begins with you have a police officer who's went into a crime scene. You find, you don't know what it is at first in the frying pan, but as he passes by and he goes into a bathroom, you see a man who is being skinned and eaten. His skin is gone and his penis is gone, which was what was in the frying pan. He's someone that wants to be eaten. It reminded me a lot of Cannibal. The man goes back to work, the police officer. He's an Australian police officer. He's messed up in the head. It's then that you find out that he traffics the web looking for anomalies on the net, and this is where the next character comes in, because he finds a site about feeders and gainers, which are essentially men who feed very large, very obese women. And what's bizarre about the site is that there's this place where it says odds, as if they're gambling on the women for some reason. He can't crack the code, but he tries to crack the code, and this takes us to the second character in the film, who in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of, Alex McLaughlin. I always mispronounce his name. He's the star of the show. He actually absolutely shines in his part, but he is a man, it shows him stopping at a fast food place. He gets a lot of burgers and fries. He goes to this house which looks horrendous. There's trash all in front of it, and then it's then that you find out that he has a woman inside, and God help me right now because I'm trying to hurry. I'm drawing a blank on her name, but he goes into her. He's been feeding her and he's been broadcasting it across the net. When he goes in, he takes his clothes off, he goes to her, he has the food on the plate with the fries, and she keeps saying, I'm so hungry, and he says, tell me, and she says, feed me, and starts begging him to feed her. As he begins feeding her, he begins masturbating. This gives you a general idea of what you can expect with the film. As the cop gets deeper and deeper into the case and tries to crack into the website, Alex's character is also very good with the net. He tries to prevent him from doing so. And let me just say, Alex's character is also the antagonist, very, very smart and savvy. As the detective comes to the States and gets closer and he's on his ass, he knows something's going on, Alex shows up at every turn, and I don't think I've seen anyone that is so non-repentant for their actions since, and it's a totally different performance, please don't mistake me, because he's not Kevin Spacey, but since Kevin Spacey in Seven, where there is a total belief in what the person is doing. Of course, you know, Alex's character is a little bit crazy, which you soon learn as his history comes back and you learn the events that transpired that molded him into the man that he is today. As the movie progresses, you learn that Alex's character also has a wife who thinks that he's just doing good things for women that are obese and want to be loved, when in actuality he's slowly killing them, and he's recording it all on the net, where people are taking bets to see how long the women that he has enthralled and romanced and fed to death will live. And that's all I'm going to say, because essentially that's what you're going to get with Feed. I found it absolutely fascinating. It made me want to go look and research more about gainers and feeders. The acting is very good. The directing is fantastic. I can't really say anything bad about the movie. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the ratings. As for the sexuality, I'm just going to be safe, and I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. The woman that's bedbound, the woman that he's feeding slowly to death, because and there are other women before her, but she's the star of the show, and this particular at this time, since the others before her are gone. You can see her breasts, you can see everything. She's nude, she can't move, she's bedbound. And then you see the penis in the frying pan. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. The violence becomes very violent toward the end of the film, especially when there's the showdown between the cop and the man who's slowly feeding women to death and recording it. So I'm going to be safe. I'm going to give that a 4 out of a 5. The gore, okay, I need to be honest with you here. A lot of people might be repulsed by the fat and the skin and things like that. There was one thing that kind of did disturb me. I can't tell you what it is, because it will ruin a shock element of the movie, but it deals with fat and under the skin and whatnot. But even that isn't overly done. So I'm just going to give the gore a 3.5. And that's really being generous. It probably is a 3 because I didn't find it all that gory. And my overall enjoyment of this movie, I'm going to give Feed a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a very good film. I thought the characters were fantastic. I liked the plot. It moved at a fast pace. It's actually 101 minutes. I didn't feel that that was overly long. I thought that it was just right. And the ending of the film, I can't tell you what it is, but it's literally things coming full circle. Of course, there are a few unresolved plot things that are left hanging, but that's, you can just forgive that in films like these. So if you've not seen Feed, I would recommend it, especially if you're into the kind of a suspense thriller kind of movies and more of the head game kind of movies, because it does become a game of cat and mouse with the officer and the man feeding women to death by the end of the film's conclusion. So anyhow, there's my review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I don't know if you're going to see me today or the rest of the week. Things are going to be absolutely chaotic this weekend for me. And then we have Christmas, and I'm trying to wrap everything up. So if you don't, I will be trying to stop by all your channels. I've been trying to catch up as it is. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been trying. But I hope that you all have a wonderful Friday. I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend. And until I talk to you all, be safe, enjoy some great movies and popcorn, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.